this is the best piece of advice that you can ever receive. And this is not what you think. I'm always right. My opinion is the only opinion that matters. Do what I say. No, on the contrary, this is an extremely valuable piece of advice. And if you apply what I'm about to tell you to your life as a habit, you will significantly decrease the likelihood of you being fooled or manipulated by anybody. And trust me, there are a lot of people out there doing this today, and it's not obvious sometimes. Now, when it comes to advice, it seems that many are now shunning mainstream advice and looking towards social media platforms for advice in many different spaces. This, of course, is because mainstream have gained a reputation for being pretty selective in what they tell you. There is a lot of good advice out there, but the major drawback to this is that there is no filter and anyone can state pretty much what they want. So there is also a lot of bad advice and some pretty outlandish claims being made by many. The thing to consider more than anything is when you absorb a piece of content, whether that's mainstream content or otherwise, it amounts to nothing more than an opinion. When it comes to forwarding these opinions, there is a strong tendency for viewers to want data and science to confirm these views. But when it comes to opinions, these opinions are usually backed by studies and papers that support the claims being made. And 99% of content creators neglect to tell you they ignore or just completely deny any studies or any evidence that contradicts the claims that they're making. No matter the subject, there are usually studies that confirm that opinion that's being presented to you in the video, and there are usually just as many studies, sometimes more, that state the complete opposite. And all of these studies are biased regardless of which side of the fence they come from, and can never be fully relied upon. The most important thing to consider about studies in particular is every study out there has been organised and funded by someone with a vested interest who stands to gain in some way from having you believe in the results that they're claiming to have discovered, and usually this is a financial interest. And it's not necessarily true, the claims that these people are making. Studies say that Coca-Cola will increase the size of your testicles and make you more masculine and increase your testosterone levels. This is, of course, complete bullshit, and the study, no doubt, was funded by Coca-Cola themselves because of decreasing sales in recent years. And there is almost always another party with a vested interest from having you believe the opposite because they've got their agenda, products and services to sell to you. So it pays to always look at both sides of any subject and consider both sides, especially before jumping in and spending your money or adopting lifestyle changes based upon only one viewpoint or only one side. Often you've been misled. Sometimes you've been downright manipulated, or you've been given advice that may not be so great for you as it was for them. And there are many popular opinions that lead manufacturers also to labelling products in such a way as to lead you into believing that they conform to what people are seeking. Some obvious examples here are grass-fed, endocrine disruptor free, and from the skincare industry in particular, 100% natural. Often these claims are false. Most of the time they are only ever partially true. And this seems to be the norm when it comes to marketing or advertising of any kind, a focus only on the positive aspects and a complete absence of any negative aspects towards the product. If you want grass-fed beef, do some research into what grass-fed actually means and how this is actually implemented on a commercial basis. You'll get some surprises there. Look at things in finer detail, and instead of just grabbing a product off the shelf because it states on the label 100% natural or chemical free, look at the ingredients, and if unsure as to what any of them are, check them up. Most people carry the internet in their fucking pocket all day. You know, it's probably going to be with you when you're in the shop. Takes 30 seconds to quickly check that ingredient. Now, in the physical plane of existence, all things are only half true at best. What is true to one mind is not necessarily true to another. For every opinion out there, pretty much, on any subject, there is always a counter-opinion. Opinions are all contradictions, and there are no exceptions. I've never heard an influencer or content creator say this, so I will tell you this truth. That includes my opinion as well. Now, when I put out videos, even in my books that I've written, it's my opinion based upon my own experiences and my own research. I try to present both sides as often as I can. I believe that what I state is the truth. My policy here is honesty over getting lots of views and lots of subscribers. I try to encourage you to be free thinkers, even if this means that you're going to disagree with me sometimes. That's life. Something might have worked for me, but it may not work so well for you. You might find a different route to arriving at the same objectives that I have or what I'm talking about. You may even decide that you need a completely different objective or direction. You will gain far more life satisfaction being like this inside your mind. You should carry out due diligence into anything before applying it to yourself. Seek out a little more detail. Look for the conflicting opinion of what is being said, and always consider the positive and negative elements of both sides and even the counter opinions. Everything has positive and negatives to it, and this includes anything I say as well. A mind that blindly follows will never ever reach its full potential. An open mind willing to consider all sides and aspects and ask questions and think, hang on a moment, is open to reaching its full potential. Believe nothing, test everything. Subscribe to this channel and follow this series for more.